Howdy. It's storytelling time by Grandpa Lloyd. I love stories, especially true stories that may be embellished slightly, but if it is, I normally tell you what part is embellished. Okay? I have a friend here. Yeah. Can you get a good look at her? All right. Yeah. It's very little. She was made by a woman in Cherokee, North Carolina, who was a member of the Cherokee clan. And she said, Lloyd, you're going around telling stories to young children. And she says, if you're going to tell them about the corn doll, you have to have one. So she made me this doll. Now, question. What is this doll made out of? It's a corn husk, and I don't know, I call it corn fuzz, the part that's under the husk that sometimes gets in your teeth. This whole thing is made from the leaves of the corn. You've stripped away corn before, haven't you? And stripped it away, and then you put it in a pot, boil it or something. Yeah, that's corn husk. And that's what this doll is made out of. You say, well, Lloyd, why are you showing me that doll? Why did she make that for you? Well, let me tell you very briefly. A woman in a Cherokee tribe back in the 1800s, somewhere between 1830 and 1833, decided that every child in the tribe should have a corn husk doll. So she made them. Like I said, they're all little, not big. Boy, kids love to have big dolls, Well, these are little dolls, but she made little dolls. And every child in that tribe got a doll. Now, this happens to be a young lady's doll, but the guys got dolls too. They got usually warriors, bow and arrows and stuff, soldiers. And they would play with these dolls. But they couldn't play with them very much because they're so little, and also they're basically very fragile. So why would this woman make every child a doll? Well, I'm going to tell you the story. In 1833, that was a long time ago, that was before me even, the United States government decided that they needed to take the Indians that were homesteading. You know what homesteading means? That's where you take a plot of land and you build a little house on it, and you start farming it, and you just claim it to be your own. And that's what the Native American people would do. Because, see, they didn't understand the concept of ownership of land. That's from the Great Spirit. Everybody owns the land, and everybody owns the air, and everybody owns... This is to survive. The Great Spirit has given this to you. And, oh, yeah, well, the government decided that the land should be owned. So they decided that if you didn't buy the land, or if you didn't sign some kind of a contract, I don't fully understand all of it, but if you didn't comply with the ownership part of it, then you had the opportunity to move away. Some opportunity. Because on the other side of the great river, which of course we know is the Mississippi River, there was this plot of land that was set aside for that tribe, and that was a reservation, and you as a tribe own that land. So you are to move off of your property that you're homesteading, that you were farming, and travel over to the reservation and set up your home there. Why did they want to do that? Well, it was obvious that all of our great-grandparents were coming to this country, and they wanted to have farms, and they were starting to move out west from Washington, D.C., and they were willing to homestead by working to own property, and pay taxes. So the government said, fine, we'll use this land for the Europeans that are coming through. So the Cherokee, as well as a number of other nations, were told that they are moving across the county, the state, a couple of states, a long way over to their new home on the other side of the Great River. They didn't have a choice because they were given the opportunity to leave. And if you didn't want to leave, and if you didn't comply with what the government was asking, then they came and moved you. And the army came and started gathering up families and started moving them. Now, the dads, of course, would have told the children, it's a long way. It's not a day's walk. It's not a week's walk. It's going to be several months. And you just can't take everything with you. You have to put everything in a blanket and roll the blanket up and wear it over your shoulder or something around, and you have to walk. Some of the older folks, like me, maybe got to ride in a cart, but everybody else had to walk. And they had no warning. It's a matter of, we're leaving tomorrow. And the families were packaged up and were walking towards their new settlement. Now, isn't it interesting? All the toys that were handmade out of wood, they couldn't carry them. They were left behind. All the children's furniture were, if you didn't have a big wagon and a couple of horses, that was left behind. Everything was just left behind. You could only bring what you could carry. Now you understand why that woman on the tribe made every child a corn husk doll. They were to carry that corn husk doll to their new reservations. So they walked, and walked. Day after day, week after week, mile after mile, for several months, they walked. Some of the old timers didn't make it. No, they had to be buried along the way. They just weren't healthy enough to make that trip. It was a long, hard struggle. And you'll read about it because it's called The Trail of Tears. Look it up in your textbooks. The Trail of Tears. And there's highways that run through North Carolina, through Kentucky, through Tennessee, and you'll see a sign on a highway that says, The Trail of Tears. Broken, bruised, and weak. After several months, they finally reached this river that everybody said they were going to have to cross. The army had barges. They put people on the barges. And it was bad weather. You probably had to wait, put them on a barge. And the army rowed them across the river. They were all just worn out, exhausted, bruised, and sore. But when they got across that river, everything changed. Because what was on the other side of that river were all of their people who had gone on before them. They were already at the reservation. When they knew they were coming, they came from the reservation down to the river, and they brought food. They brought fresh blankets. They brought everything with them to share with these poor people who are coming across on a barge. What a time of rejoicing. They built bonfires and they danced and they sang because the family was now gathered together again. The reservation people were together again in their new land. But oh, what they had to suffer to get there. The Trail of Tears. You know, we're going through some pretty tough times, aren't we? What we may be going through for some people a trail of tears right now because of a virus. And we are all hunkered down in our homes and kind of getting tired, kind of getting worried, kind of get discouraged, and think of all the people that have loved ones that are sick. Some will survive and some won't. This is truly now a trail of tears. There's a river, folks. Oh, oh, oh. Good catch. Good catch, Mike. Good catch. What's on the other side of that river? Is a life where we can get back to live again. It's going to take a while. We are right now on that trail. But it's coming. We're going to cross that river together. We're going to be on the other side. Our families will start getting together again. Our friends will start joining hands and being friends again. People will be out dancing again. Churches will be meeting again when we get on the other side of this river. In the meantime, hunker down. Struggle with it. Be strong. Obey our governor. We got a good one. And we'll all make it across that river safely and have that time of joy again. God bless you. You guys take care. And I'll try and take a little better care of my friend here. Bye-bye.